Paul and his associates Kelly,
There you go.
Lynn,
Thanks.
and Christine were indispensable in guiding us through the transition. They have comprehensive knowledge and experience in all aspects of insurance, Medicare,
Yeah.
and the option. They listened to our questions every time we walked in the door. They followed up very promptly with the answers we needed. With Paul's help, we made the best decisions for us. The process was painless, and we now have comprehensive medical coverage at a very affordable price. So if you are considering retirement and a change to Medicare coverage, Paul Sheldon Insurance Benefits and Planning is hands down the best place you can go.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
And don't cry. Your folks might understand you.
Her name is Irina Zaritska. She's a 23-year-old refugee. She was working at a pizza parlor. She was on her way home. She got on the Charlotte rail system. She had the unfortunate luck of sitting in front of Carlos Brown Jr., a man who has had 14 arrests. And his final arrest is the most egregious in terms of how our judiciary is handling violent criminals with mental problems, whose mother wanted him hospitalized. Here is, what should we do first? Let's do this. You got the whole 213. This is about 2 minutes and 18 seconds, but I want you to hear all of this. This is the President of the United States.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people. Really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities needs help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.
Little verb agreement problem there by the president. Cities needs. But other than that, I thought that was one of his best speeches. I really did. Little race baiting on the president. And I just mean in terms of appealing to his base, because what you didn't see, if you haven't seen the video, when he showed the picture of the girl, there was also a picture of DeCarlos Brown in a jumpsuit next to her. And I didn't think that was necessary. I think that was kind of playing to the base, angering Southern whites to this, but that's fine. That's not the issue. The issue is the fact that the media has absolutely ignored this because of race, absolutely because of race, because it doesn't fit their narrative. Because just for 10 seconds, Democrats, because Republicans are already on board on this with me, but Democrats, for 10 seconds, imagine had that been a white man who slashed the throat of a 23-year-old African-American woman coming home from work from a pizza joint. Sharpton, Maxine Waters, the black leaders of Charlotte, the black leaders of the state of North Carolina's heads would have exploded and they would have demanded some sort of justice. But instead, this thing happens in August of 22nd to a young white girl from Ukraine, and it doesn't fit the media narrative. And what happened to this man, this DeCarlos Brown, in his 14 arrests is ridiculous. Here is Carolyn Levitt, the press secretary, talking about this man's history.
DeCarlos Brown has been charged with crimes no fewer than 14 times, dating back to 2011, including for armed robbery, felony larceny, breaking and entering, and shoplifting. Brown had previously served 5 years in prison for a robbery with a deadly weapon charge, and he had also forfeited bonds 3 different times, twice in 2014 and once in 2023. Despite all of this past documented criminal history, when Brown was arrested yet again in January of this past year, a Democrat judge, I will add, was a strong supporter of former Vice President Kamala Harris, released this insane criminal once again without requiring him to pay any bail. He simply had to sign a written promise to return for his court hearing.
That's insanity. Like, we can't come to an agreement. Congress can't put something on the books that, let's be reasonable. Let's say after your, give me a number, 6, your 6th arrest, that it's a mandatory, whether you spit on the sidewalk or you're caught jaywalking, your 7th arrest is automatic 10, 15 years in prison. Because what you have personally established is you are a career criminal. You scoff at our laws. You can't abide by what we call normal society. But 14 arrests, and on the 14th time he came before a judge says, you know what, son, you don't need any money to get out of jail. You don't need any bail money. Here, just sign this. Now remember, he skipped bail 3 times. Imagine if you did that to a warrant. Imagine if you didn't answer a warrant 3 different times and you come before a judge that 4th time. You would get no bail. They would throw your ass underneath the prison because you obviously don't give a damn about the laws. There were a warrant out for your arrest 3 different times. You never showed up. What's the difference between that and skipping bail? And instead, the judge said, just go ahead and sign this piece of paper and you can get the hell out of here. Despite your 13 prior arrests. That is the single most egregious problem with our judicial system, that we have liberal, woke judges who slap the wrists of violent, insane, literally insane men and women and send them right back out to commit whatever crime. And every time it pops up, it's murder. Then there's suddenly attention. And in this case, there wasn't even attention in the original murder. Did anybody hear about this back in August? We're in the information business, and I didn't hear about it. Oh, but when you see the video, when you see Brown, she sits in front of him on the Charlotte rail system. She literally just walked onto the train, and she sits down and does what every 23-year-old does, gets on her phone, and within 10 seconds, Brown sits behind her. He gets up, and this is all you see in the video because they can't show the rest. He slits her throat. They can't show the rest. And you know what the single worst part about this is? Beyond just the murder, beyond the judge, beyond the no bail, nobody helped her. Now, maybe I understand not wanting to take on a crazed man with a knife. Not all of us are Daniel Penny. Not all of us are badass Marines, which is a whole nother point in this situation that I'll bring up later. But nobody went and took their shirt off and tried to stop the bleeding. Maybe I can understand not wanting to go at it with a African-American man wielding a knife, but the woman sitting across from her, because DeCarlos got up and just walked through the train. Knife still in his hand, blood pouring off the knife, and just walked right through the train. Everybody was like, well, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. But the woman sitting across from her, as she slowly desanguinated, sat there. She looked at her, went like this, oh my God, and literally turned her back to the woman. No one tried to stop the bleeding. No one went to that young woman's help. 2025. Good God Almighty. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Two big stories out of the Supreme Court. Chief Justice John Roberts is temporarily keeping in place the Trump administration's decision to freeze nearly $5 billion in foreign aid. Roberts acted Tuesday on the administration's emergency appeal to the Supreme Court in a case involving billions of dollars in congressionally approved aid. President Trump said last month that he would not spend the money. The Supreme Court is granting an unusually quick hearing on whether President Trump has the power under federal law to impose sweeping tariffs. The justices agreed Tuesday to hear the case in November, lightning fast by the usual standards of the nation's highest court. The tariff 196 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. An assistant men's basketball coach is up on charges of human trafficking. CSUB assistant coach Kevin Mays has been a coach there for 6 years and is an alumnus of the university. Mays appeared in court on Monday. He faces a total of 6 felonies, which include pimping, pandering, as well as drug and gun charges. He's also under a no-contact order with a woman prosecutors say was his victim. A motorcycle rider suffers serious injuries after a crash northeast of Bakersfield. It happened a little after 5:30 Monday evening in the area of Garces Highway, just west of Blue Mountain Road. According to CHP, the motorcycle went down an embankment, falling at least 10 feet. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
This fall on the Megyn Kelly Show, we're going on the road through 10 U.S. cities with no BS, no agenda, and no fear. It's Megyn Kelly Live, presented by Y Refi and SiriusXM. Go to MegynKelly.com to get your tickets now.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Seems that I was busy doing something close to nothing, but different from the day before. Ooh, I saw her. She walked in through the outdoor. She wore a red. 842-537-6842. KERN will check the board in just a second. But just a little bit more on Irina Zarutska. Have you seen the video? You saw it? Have you seen
Yeah, I watched it.
Have you seen the
I've seen what you were just talking about, right about where he makes content for television purposes.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
part
to
of me
see-
wants to believe it's YouTube or was at one point.
I'm sure it is somewhere. I just want to see what I don't want to see. I can't watch that in a movie,
No.
let alone in real life. But I want to concentrate on what everybody else was doing at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm not sure. You know, I'm a coward. I've made that clear.
I think
I'm
the
not
vast-
sure I could wrestle a guy with a knife.
vast majority of society is today, to be honest with you,
Is what?
are cowards. I think that.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
You're not required to jump in a murder scene.
Right.
But to sit and watch a girl slowly bleed to death without taking some cloth of some sort and trying to do, I mean, granted, like my dad used to say, you get internal injuries like your throat cut or stabbed in the stomach. God Almighty can't help you. You get internal injuries and internal bleeding. So there's no surgery in the world. It's gotten better, obviously. There are doctors that are listening to me right now and go, Ralph, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's gotten much better, but it's very, very, very life-threatening. But you would think they would at least make an attempt. How could you just sit there? I mean, you know, we're accustomed to motion pictures. Have you ever seen, like, I saw somebody in an automobile accident on 24th Street. In fact, I missed work because of it. I think I did. No, maybe that was my own automobile accident. Anyway, there was an automobile accident on 24th Street, and I ran up, and the girl just had about a 6-inch cut on her forehead. And her blouse was red, and it was white originally. You don't understand, unless you've actually seen it, how wounds are just, you pour blood. It's like opening the spigot of a water faucet. And people don't understand that. We're used to seeing movies where people get shot in the arm and they just put their hand on the wound and that stops the bleeding. No. That's why they call them tourniquets. That's why you're supposed to tie it off and put a belt on and tie it as close as you can to stop the blood from flowing. You could bleed out from a gunshot wound to the arm and bleed to death. And I just don't understand how the people on that train could see somebody get their cutthroat, literally, and just, well, what are we going to do? My stop is coming up. I'm late for work. I just don't understand that. And Randy Fine, a legislator, is trying to come up with legislation that will punish these judges who again, it's just a horrible day not to have Teresa Goldner, because I would love to ask her. I mean, you would just think after like the 7th or maybe the 8th or maybe the 9th conviction or maybe after the 10th. Okay, fine. After the 11th, no. Maybe after a dozen convictions, no. Maybe the 13th, no. Not even after the 14th conviction, a judge says, just sign this piece of paper and you can walk out that door. How is that possible? How are we as citizens not screaming for harsher penalties for these animals who just don't deserve to be a part of society? And if it is a mental issue, then why in the hell can't we go back to mental state hospitals? And I have always argued, and maybe this is crazy because I live in this crazy fictional land that I love called motion pictures, but I'm telling you, Cuckoo's Nest was the beginning of the end of state hospitals, because that tipped journalists, just like all the president's men, you know, before Watergate, the number 2 graduate schools in the country were law and medicine, always had been. After Watergate and the 2 unknown reporters suddenly became household words in our vernacular and became stars. Journalism suddenly became the #1 grad program in all of education. My point being is motion pictures can have an impact on American life. And when Michael Douglas, who bought the script from his dad, Kirk, lifted the rock on state hospitals, journalists started to get in on it. And they found what my buddy Ed Skelly, we worked for the U.S. Attorney's Office down in LA. He's on doing cybersecurity now, but he used to do that exact thing. He would go after these state hospitals and these old folks' homes, for lack of a better term, and found out egregious problems. People with bed sores, their beds hadn't been changed in months, and just ignoring these people. And that gave a black eye to state hospitals, and now they've just kind of withered away. Well, we've got to go back to that. We've got to get these people. Again, one of the biggest problems in our society is mental health. And there's nobody arguing that. Nobody says, "Oh, that's crazy, Ralph. Our mental health problem is not overrun. Everything's fine. It's copacetic. Stop being so hyperbolic." No, everybody agrees. And yet we do nothing about it. And does a week go by that we're not dealing with some suspect, some murder suspect who isn't mentally ill, whether it's a mass shooting at a church or a school, children, or a young refugee who would have been safer staying in Ukraine? She'd be safer in Ukraine than she would be on a train in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's crazy. And when you see the video, for the 3 people that haven't, just the pure dumb luck of sitting in front of this guy. He was already on the train. There were people dispersed amongst the train. She gets on it and just happens to sit right in front of him. And within 10 seconds, it's hard to tell because I think the one I saw was in slow-mo. But I mean, it's no more than 30 seconds after she's on the train and she starts to get on her phone, and he pulls that knife like Psycho, like Anthony Hopkins in Psycho, Mr. Bates. It's right out of that. And nobody paid attention. Here is Caroline Leavitt, press secretary, more on DeCarlos Brown.
Surveillance video of the killing was finally released to the public this past Friday. It shows the alleged killer, DeCarlos Brown Jr., pull out a knife, get up from his seat behind Irina, and prepare to thrust a blade into her neck before the released footage gets cut. This is pure evil on full display. The most enraging and unacceptable part of this story is that her death was entirely preventable. DeCarlos Brown never should have been on that train that night. In fact, he should have been behind bars.
He should have absolutely been behind bars. And that's the issue. That is the most significant issue with our judicial system. That people, violent people, that these judges have to know. They have to know that these people should not be on the streets. But it doesn't impact them. Most of them live in gated communities. Some of them have even security. They have no problem with getting on a train and having their knife cut. Their children aren't going to be in this kind of situation. So what do they give a damn? And the point that the president made, one of the things that Democrats have tried to fight Mr. Trump in terms of putting the National Guard in Chicago and other communities is that, he's only targeting blue states. He's not getting after red states. Well, the fact of the matter is, as the president pointed out, if you look at the homicide rates, the top 25 cities, 24 of those cities are in cities controlled by Democratic mayors, Democratic DAs. 24 of the 25. And the one in Louisiana, New Orleans, is welcoming these kind of situations, as is the mayor of DC. And what have they done? They've dropped in the District of Columbia carjacking by 87%. 87%. Now, if you're living in Northeast and Northwest, you want the National Guard out of D.C. because that's the nice area of D.C. But do you really think they're polling people in Southeast? Are you really think they're going into the ghettos and asking those people, the Sadie Johnson who lives on the corner, and she's lived there for 40 years and had to do the best to keep her children and her grandchildren out of gangs? You really think they're talking to her about whether D.C. is safe or not? I've got audio of people in Chicago screaming at their city council members, screaming at the mayor for ignoring the attempts by the president to make this place safer. The mayor of Charlotte, wait to get a load of this. The mayor of Charlotte, Vi Lyles, an African-American woman, 72 years old. This was on August the 26th. This was before we even knew about this murder. This was long before the surveillance video was let go. Here's what the mayor of Charlotte had to say about this heinous crime. We will never arrest our way out of issues such as homelessness and mental health. I want to be clear that I am not villainizing this, I want to be clear that I am not villainizing those who struggle with their mental health or those who are unhoused. Mental health, I can't even read my own damn writing. I can't even read my, God damn it. Discase 13, just that, a disease like, okay, I got it. Mental health, a disease that is just that, a disease like any other. I apologize, I can't even read my own handwriting, and that I absolutely butchered that. But basically, she's defending Mr. Brown. The one thing in my idiot reading and idiot writing that you did not hear, even me bumbling through it, is the name of the victim. Nor is there any even allusion to the victim. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm not reading my writing correctly. Let me double check here. Just give me a second. No, I'm pretty sure. No, there's no allusion to the victim in this thing. She's talking about us having more empathy for the mentally ill. What the hell is going on? And again, white people are now being accused of being racist because they're making a big deal out of this. Just imagine, again, for 10 seconds, had that been a white guy and had cut the throat of a black woman coming home from a pizza parlor. Ben Crump would be down there representing the family. Sharpton would be in Charlotte right now, meeting with the family, having press conferences. Maxine Waters would be making a statement in D.C. Cory Booker would go on another filibuster in the Senate. How can we allow this to happen? And yet no one in the liberal media is covering it. And again, when Carolyn Levitt addressed this in the press secretary, as the press secretary, Fox was the only one who covered it. And then there was a question about Israel, and bing bang, because I watch it on the news mix, where I get 6 panels: CNN, Fox, MSNBC, BBC, and 2 weather channels. So I'm watching Carolyn Levitt in the middle. She switches to Israel, bing bang. All of a sudden, MSNBC, CNN goes to the White House. But not a second of her addressing the 23-year-old killed in North Carolina. Why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. A, that America is safe. B, that we are doing our best in terms of police activity and we don't need any help. That was the brilliance of Trump's speech, putting Pritzker, the Illinois governor, in the position of saying, no, I don't need any help. Everything is kosher here. Well, we had 8 murders last weekend. And well, we had 7 before that weekend. We had 37 people shot last weekend. But Mr. President, stay home. We're good. We're good. You go ahead with that. You keep pumping that up. I'm telling you, we're going to win the midterms. They are so off base in terms of what people are really saying in their homes, as opposed to the polls that they keep reading that keeps telling them everything's fine. Crime isn't an issue. If you want to be a part of the party that fights the people that want to fight crime, you go right ahead. Because history tells us that's not a winner. Richard Nixon was the biggest. Richard Nixon had no business winning in 68. No business at all. One of 3 men to lose a presidential campaign and then come back and win it again. He had no business winning it. But why did he win? Because the Democrats were in utter disarray. They had a 68 convention that was an embarrassment, where police had to get involved, where the hippies, the Bill Clintons, and the Tom Haydens of that era were screaming, the whole world is watching, and we're embarrassing you, essentially. The whole world is watching. And what did Nixon come in with? I'll end the war, and I'll make this peace. I'll make this a peaceful place again. We'll get back to law and order. The pendulum will swing if you get me back into the White House. And they sent this loser who couldn't even come back after his presidential defeat and win the governorship in the state of California. But somehow, he couldn't even win California. But somehow, he could win a presidential election. Why? Because it was all about law and order. And that's what this is going to be about. The Democrats are once again in the position to A, not defend law and order, B, select a mayor of our most populous city in North America who believes in literally defunding the police. I'll play that for you. A number of Democrats calling for defunding the police throughout history. And the next mayor of New York, who is all in favor of that. They're calling it a move, a shift in allocation. We're going to invest in programs. He agrees with the Charlotte person, the Charlotte mayor. We can't arrest our way out of this. We could have arrested our way out of this murder. As Carolyn Levitt said, this should not have happened. That man should never, after, 9 arrests, maybe after the 10th arrest, after the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, after the 14th arrest, that man should be spending 10, 15, 20 years in prison. Instead, he's kicking it in Charlotte, waiting for his next victim. Sees a young white girl walk on the train, and within 10 seconds, he cuts her throat. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. We're going to shift gears at the top of the hour, talk about something positive, big food drive going on tomorrow. Jeremy Tobias from Cap K will join us in just a couple of minutes. You will hear from those Democrats when we come back, by the way. And one more bite from Carolyn Levitt. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Tuesday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and.
What's the other bite from Caroline?
We played both of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, unless you want the one I was talking about earlier, the statement about the bombing.
You got one?
Yeah, I took the statement from that because that's why I originally thought you were talking about it first. Was that was her statement from Trump's camp about the bombing?
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you're not going to tie it into what we're talking about.
Yeah, I can't do it right now. You got any text messages?
Yeah, I got a couple.
All right, we'll do that then, and maybe I'll do that I'll do Israel because I haven't even done Israel yet.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
we'll
what
do
I'm talking. That's I think is this is tied to. So
yeah, we'll do that at 4:30 then.
Okay, and you got a call or two.
Okay.
Looking for flooring? It's on sale at America Ceramics. Looking
Yeah,
for
'cause all I got is
countertops? It's
Philly
on sale
Karen
at
at
America
4:30, and I
Ceramics. How about shower tile? Yep, that's on sale too at America Ceramics. At America Ceramics, everything you need to transform your space is marked down for the summer. From sleek stone surfaces to bold backsplash tiles, they have it, and it's all on sale. Bring your big ideas to America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue, or visit americaceramics.com to get started. But don't wait. Styles and savings are going fast, and this summer sale won't last forever. America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue, or visit americaceramics.com to get started.
With America Ceramics, do it natural.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, may I ask a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog.
Great. Do you have a pool outside?
Nope, just a big old backyard.
Nice. Another question. Are there any unlocked guns in the home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, let's just talk about what we can bring for dessert.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits coverage, and understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today at 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Lily just sent me the full
Actual
video.
Oh
Yeah.
no. I'm gonna have to see that too.
I'll show it to you at the break.
Is it as vulgar or as vicious as you thought it would?
Yes. And the worst part is there's about 10 seconds where she knows what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And she knows she's dying.
There's no way you don't.
Where she even looks up at him. He cuts her throat, and you can't really see a lot of blood. And she's just sitting there holding her neck, and she looks like this, and she looks up at him, and then she kind of looks down.
Probably trying to compress the neck.
No, I don't think she's in shock. I don't think she knows what the hell's going on.
Oh, I mean,
And
that's
I think
fair, too.
she realizes, and then she kind of looks down. I think then she realizes, oh my God. And then she just kind of collapses. And there's nobody, and he walks off, and nobody comes to her assistance.
Lily just sent it to me as well. Thank you, Lily.
Absolutely nobody comes to her assistance. That's frightening. I don't know what's more frightening.
I'm
We've
afraid
got
to look
crazy
at her right now.
people
It's
walking around, or that we don't have people, which again brings me back to Daniel Penny. Like, who's to say how many lives he saved by taking that guy down? And yet he was arrested. Who you got?
You got Blake on the line.
Blake, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show. Blake?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I love your passion, and you're absolutely right. I'm with you 1,000,000% on that. It's outrageous. I would think, if anything's an emergency, hey, how about an executive order and get rid of that no bail stuff? Just write an order and let the Supreme Court back you. I mean, that's one way to go. But I will say this: people's memories fade, and I know you're hot, Ralph, but in the midterms, it's the economy. It always has been and always will be. Love your show, Ralph.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think there's some truth to that. I mean, that's the Carville line. It's the economy, stupid. And yeah, if the economy's in the dump, we're going to have some troubles. But I think that's one of the reasons that Chad Bianca, the Riverside County sheriff, who I said didn't have a chance in hell, is one of two gubernatorial candidates that's polling in double digits. That's not just, happenstance. This is a guy with absolutely no name recognition outside of Riverside County. Had any of y'all heard about him? I think the only person in Kern County that ever heard of Chad Bianco before he announced that he was running for governor is Donnie Youngblood, who probably knows him fairly well from just conventions and them traveling together, the 58 sheriffs, etc. But I don't think it's a coincidence that he's polling in double digits along with Katie Porter. Antonio Villaraigosa just got endorsed by Karen Bass, so that's the end of his campaign. Sayonara, Antonio. Wrong broad to have in your back seat, Jack. Just saying. But it's just a senseless murder. You know, we talked about this when we were talking about the Democratic cities that are more dangerous than Bogota, Mexico City. To think that this girl was probably safer and would have seen 30 had she stayed in Ukraine than she would be on a train in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is normally a pretty peaceful community. But crime is everywhere. And when you've got liberal judges who are taking guys with police records that are unheard of, double-digit arrests, and you can just sign a piece of paper and walk right out the door. Quick time out. We're going to switch to a much more positive topic. A food drive going on by Cap K. Don't go anywhere.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM.
I am walking. I fucking boiled some eggs this morning, burnt the shit out of them, and ran to my kitchen. And I went and turned the burner off, and I was like,
the White House is describing today's Israeli attack in
then I was like,
Qatar as an
look at that.
unfortunate
Look at that.
incident.
Press Secretary Caroline
that? Look at
Leavitt
this.
said
Look at
the
this.
U.S. received prior notice about the pending military
that?
strike and gave Doha
I'm
a
healthy,
heads
boy.
up.
The president
Go
views
play some
Qatar
golf
as
this
a
weekend,
strong
Jack.
ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of
What are you
this
talking about?
attack.
Leavitt said the Trump administration views the bombing inside another
No, eggs
sovereign
aren't on the
country
list.
as unfortunate,
No.
but also said eliminating Hamas is a worthy goal. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The Supreme Court is granting an unusually quick hearing on whether President Trump has the power under federal law to impose sweeping tariffs. The justices agreed Tuesday to hear the case in November, lightning fast by the usual standards of the nation's highest court. The tariffs will stay in place in the meantime. Officials in Charlotte are facing sharp criticism over the fatal stabbing of a young Ukrainian refugee on a commuter train last month. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the Charlotte stabbing victim's story is heartbreaking.
This young lady, Irina, survived Ukraine. She fled amid the deadliest land war in Europe since World War II. She fled to the safety, or so she thought, of the United States, just to have her life senselessly ended by someone who should have never been allowed to walk freely.
DeCarlos Brown Jr. has a lengthy arrest record with 14 prior criminal cases. He allegedly killed 23-year-old Irina Zarutsky last month on a train in Charlotte. North Carolina prosecutors charged him with first-degree murder. He now also faces a federal charge of causing death on a mass transportation system. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Guess who's watching Rob Finnerty on Newsmax? President Trump is. He even says Finnerty's show is so terrific. Millions are joining President Trump to watch Finnerty every night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. All this week, Rob looks at the media's war on President Trump. Rob gives you the facts about the National Guard in cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. He tells you the real truth about the Jeffrey Epstein files, and he reveals the big media's agenda on Trump's health. You need to watch Rob Finnerty on Newsmax. Check out your local cable system. Newsmax is on all major systems. Or download the free Newsmax app. It costs you nothing, and you can watch in minutes. Finnerty is the fastest growing primetime news show in America. Find out why even President Trump is tuning in. More than 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for news they can trust. Because we are real news for real people.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. Kyle Condor is out. He is no longer CSU Bakersfield's athletic director. That is the word put out in an email from University President Vernon Harper. Dr. Sarah Tuahi has been named as acting director of athletics while the university begins its search for a replacement. Conder was named athletics director in 2022. He had previously worked at Southern
Mr.
Methodist
T.
and Tulane University.
How
The
are you,
California
sir?
Board of Parole and Hearings has granted release to an 84-year-old man who was convicted of murder in 2004. Mendel Mendez has so far served only half his sentence. According to BHP, Mendez no longer poses a current and unreasonable
playing
risk
golf
to
this
public
weekend, I know
safety.
that.
According to the DA's office on May 16,
Yeah.
2004, Mendez and the victim were talking when he
So,
fired
I
several
haven't played
shots
golf in
at
like 3.5
Rafael
months.
Gutierrez Melgoa, hitting him in the head, chest,
kind of
and
fun
abdomen.
going to this
He was
weekend
found
'cause
guilty of
I don't care what I
second-degree
shoot.
murder
I
and
just wanna
sentenced
get
to
out there.
40 years
I
behind
wanna get out there. I
bars.
just wanna hit the ball.
Bakersfield police are on the lookout for a missing 16-year-old girl. Lila Dawn Howard is
It depends
considered
on your
at risk
diet.
as she's never
And I
gone
had
missing
gone
before.
so long
She was
without
last seen in
one.
the 7700
started
block
eating
of Prism
stupidly.
Way. Her pictures
Fettuccine
posted on
Alfredo,
Bakersfield Police social
Alfredo
media.
sauce. I was
Anyone
eating-
who
and I
knows
was-
anything is
it was almost
asked
as if
to
I was
give them
trying
a
to get
call.
out.
A lucky
having-
lottery
I went
player in
to brunch,
Tehachapi
eggs
is $1 million
Benedict,
richer after
sauce.
buying a winning
I was
Powerball
eating
ticket.
bacon,
Love's Travel Shop on
shrimp.
East Tehachapi
Yes.
Boulevard, just ahead of
Yes.
the drawing for
And
the
now I just got
$1.8
back from
billion
the wedding.
jackpot. The winning ticket for the big
appetizers,
jackpot were sold in
beautiful
Missouri
shrimp
and Texas.
kebabs.
A total of 18 tickets were sold across
No, I just
13
can't do it.
states
I
for the
can't do it.
$1 million
I can't do it.
prize,
So-
while 2 tickets sold in Texas and Kansas
All
were
right,
good for $2 million prizes.
So this
In
right,
Newsroom with
7-6.
news every half hour or when it breaks on 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get up close like this. Bada bing! You blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
When you make the call, you understand me? You hear me? Call from the line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-84. KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Tuesday night, the day of September. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Bottom of the hour, we'll get into the Israeli strike on Hamas. Took place in Qatar, one of our allies, and Western Europe is not happy. The president is not happy. We will follow that up. You will hear Carolyn Levitt, the president's press secretary, address that. We'll get into that. Then coming up to 5, talk a little sports. Dodgers got a big win last night, but once again blew a no-hitter, and Tanner Scott was once again the suspect. Delve into that and maybe talk a little football. A tale of two halves last night. Chicago and SC's Caleb Williams looked great for 30 minutes and then stunk it up for the other 30. We'll delve into that a little bit. But first, as those who are viewing on YouTube, you can subscribe. Just go to kernradio.com, punch in Ralph Bailey or JR Flores. Or Scott Cox does not participate. As you can see, the executive director of CapK, Jeremy Tobias, is live in studio. They've got a long, long day ahead of them tomorrow trying to help feed our community. Jeremy, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Ralph. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, last time we had a Tobias in this room was your nephew.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was talking about, what were they talking about? Chris, do you remember what the 3 kids? Oh, they were raising money for Honor Flight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The lemonade stand.
Yeah, the lemonade stand.
Okay, yeah, probably my nephew Luca.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Garces, yeah, Tens
Mhm.
Garces, yeah.
Yeah. And then as soon as he left, I was like, I should have asked him, is Jeremy your dad? Or are you one of the Tobiases?
Yeah.
And especially coming from Garces, I should have known.
Yeah,
should
yeah,
absolutely
that's
known.
right, yeah.
So tell us what's going on tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow, CapK, in conjunction with KGET, is holding Feed Kern Now Food Drive. It's tomorrow, September 10th, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Compassion Corner, located at 22nd and L.
Right across the
downtown.
street from KGET.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's part of Hunger. Actually, this is Hunger Action Month. I was just telling Ralph, I was down at the Board of Supervisors this morning. At the 9 a.m. meeting, they declared the month of September's Hunger Action Month here in Kern County. So we have several events going on during Hunger Action Month, including the Feed Kern Now food drive tomorrow morning.
Yeah. What are you asking folks for?
Well, tomorrow, what they can do is they can drive through. It's a drive-through food drive. We're also doing lunch. We're serving lunch. It's part of the fundraiser from 11 to 1:30. Smokehouse Grill is going to be doing deep pit barbecue down there. But they drive through and they donate. And tomorrow's food drive is unusual because a lot of our food drives are, we just want shelf-stable canned foods. We'll be accepting fresh produce, fresh foods, frozen items, refrigerated items, almost anything.
Wow.
We're going to have a refrigerated truck out there so we can take all donations of food, as long as it's not expired, of course. We're going to take anything you can bring. And it's just a great way to help. Donating food is a wonderful way to help the community, because I know a lot of people are leery about donating to nonprofits, and it's like, oh, how much goes to admin and all this stuff. Well, you donate a can of food, there ain't 10% coming off the top or anything. That can of food goes into someone's hand.
Right.
It's just a great way to know that I'm making a difference in the community and I'm donating, and it's going straight to someone that needs it.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That really, really is. So it's a great time to defrost the freezer and just clear out everything you got that you haven't cooked in months and just sitting there, and you can take that down. That's unique. I've never heard that. It's mostly canned goods and non-perishable items and stuff like that. That's
Those are usually a little easier, yeah. So, but since we're going to have the refrigerated truck down there, we can take anything and everything. I got a couple people telling me they're going to bring turkeys down. We used to do a food drive called the Holiday Food Drive in November down at Compassion Corner, and we decided with Hunger Action Month to move it to September. So this is taking the place of the Holiday Food Drive. So we are kind of prepping for the holidays. We're still a little ways away, but we'll take turkeys too. If you want to get out ahead of the turkey rush and bring a turkey down, we'll take that as well. So.
Yeah. How bad is the food situation for some in our community?
Well, Kern County has a high food insecurity rate. 1 in 5 individuals in Kern County is food insecure, about 20%, which is fairly high. It's above the national average. And I think, we have a little bit higher unemployment rate than a lot of areas. Yeah. And a lot of our jobs are low paying jobs. Most of the people we're serving, we're not serving, how do I describe this? It's, we're not handing out food to just homeless people on the corner. I mean, occasionally we do that, but that's really not who we're serving. The main bulk of our clients are seniors and families that are working poor. So what it is people that are working busting their tails, low income jobs, minimum wage jobs, sometimes 2.
Yeah.
And you go to pay rent and you pay utilities, pay your electrical bill, and
there's nothing left.
There's just not much left. So we're just trying to help them stock their pantry so they can keep working those jobs and not lose their house and things like that. And because our society is that's how our society is built. We need people doing jobs like that.
Yeah. And that's why the health of low income people is so bad, because they rely on fast food and the fast food deals that are now abundant because of the economy, where you can get a burger and a fries and this for like $4 or $5. That's right in their wheelhouse. You can feed a family on $20, but yet it's not really what you want to be feeding your children.
No, and you bring up an interesting point. When I started Cap K, our food bank, we were just trying to get our feet under us at the food bank, and we were just pushing calories out the door. And we weren't really even worried what it was. It was beans, whatever, pastries, bread. We just wanted to push calories out there. And as we started realizing, our community, especially Bakersfield and Kern County, just has some really high health numbers as far as negative health numbers.
Heart disease, we lead the state.
And we started feeling like we were just adding to that problem. So we have made a conscientious effort at the food bank to incorporate fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, things like that when we distribute food. We really try and balance it out. And that's why if people, they can also make cash donations, because then we can balance that out. We can go to a farmer and either get food donated or buy it at a super high discounted like wholesale rate and hand out fresh fruits and vegetables as well. So we try and balance that out. We're very conscientious about that.
Yeah. Jeremy Tobias is our guest, the executive director of Cap K. Tell for the few folks or new members of our community what Cap K is and what you guys are all about.
So Cap K, Community Action Partnership of Kern, we're a community action agency. There's about 1,000 of them nationwide, in just about every county in the United States. And every community action agency is different in every county. Some have food banks and some don't. Some have Head Start programs and some don't. And you're supposed to model your community action agency like your local needs in your community, your local community. So Cap K, our agency, is very reflective of our community. We're running programs that we think are needed in this community. They're well received in the community, and we try and be very reflective of the needs of the community.
Yeah. Anything else going on we should know about by tomorrow?
Yeah, so we have a couple other events coming up in conjunction with Hunger Action Month. We're going to have a community box For 20th, you can come out to the food bank from 7:45 a.m. to 11 a.m. and build food boxes for seniors in our community. And they can register for that at the capkfoundation.org/HAM, which stands for Hunger Action Month. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or what.
Right.
Anyways.
That's
And
funny,
then
though.
the big thing, Kern County Fair. Tuesday, September 23rd is our annual Feed the Need food drive. Tuesday, September 23rd, you bring 6 cans of food per person. You get in the fair free.
And that's really popular.
Yeah, it is. And that we raised last year. I think we brought in over 25,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
This year we'd like to hit 30,000. But it's a great way to help.
Yeah.
And you get in the fair for free.
Absolutely.
Bring your kids out there, go to the fair. You get, of course, the concerts and everything are, free that day and everything. And it's a great way to help and go to the fair and have a good time.
Yeah.
And the fair board's been great. The Kern County Fair Board gives up their gate that night to let us do this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And it's really cool. It's what Bakerstone, Kern County are all about.
It really is.
Yes.
I mean, generosity, that should be like our motto, our signature, what this community is all about. I just was talking at an event the other night, and I just said it's by far the most generous community. We are our brother's keeper in this community. It really is. And the things that you are doing and the folks at Cap K is really, really special. Get that information out there one more time about what's going on tomorrow.
Okay.
7 to 6.
7 a.m., 6 p.m., Compassion Corner at 22nd and L. The KGET Feed Kern Now food drive-through food food drop-off, fresh, refrigerated, frozen items. We're taking everything. And also, we're serving lunch from 11 to 1:30, prepared by Smokehouse Grill. Big shout out to them. And for $15, you get a deep pit sandwich, chips, and a drink.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That really is. And that's cool of them to come to your assistance as well.
That's right.
And just a side note, I'll leave you with this. Guess who I spoke to on the phone with today?
Well,
come on. What do we have in common? Who do we have in
Chris
common?
Zucchini.
That's a good guess.
Gino Valpredo.
That's another good guess. Louis Gill.
Oh, Louis Gill.
Talk to Louis
Yeah,
Gill.
Louis Gill.
Live
How's he
from
doing?
Connecticut.
Yeah, live from Connecticut.
Doing really well
Yeah.
and very happy.
Yeah,
it's
that's
good to
good
talk
to
to
hear.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always good to see you. Keep up the incredible work that you and Cap K continue to do. And we will pump this up for tomorrow and your event coming up. And of course, the great Kern County Fair and the 6 cans to get in free. That's a great deal. And obviously, you're incredibly helping the community. And you get into the fair free. Well, it's a great deal. Again, Jeremy, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Jeremy Tobias, Executive Director of Cap K. Quick break. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. Bottom of the hour, we'll get into the Israeli situation, striking Hamas in a sovereign nation. We'll delve into that and get the response from Western Europe and the president. You'll hear from Carolyn Levitt, the press secretary, after the break. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Tuesday, right here on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com. Sweet. That was great. Thank you. Nice job. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
News Talk.
Yeah, talk to Lewis. That's how I got your number.
AM 1180.
Yeah. He's doing well. He's really
Wednesday
happy.
edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show will break down the absolute latest ongoing tension in the Middle East as Israel has struck against the leaders
All right,
of
man.
Hamas outside of the country. Plus, Congress getting ready to roll back in session. What are the priorities of the Trump 2.0 now that he's got his big, beautiful bill passed? That'll be the Wednesday edition. Come hang with us on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
Tanner Scott's blowing 9 saves.
Ralph
So you
Bailey for
figure,
Adaptive
let's say,
Networks. You know, a lot of IT companies try to squeeze your unique business. into
I
their
wrote on
cookie-cutter
Facebook,
solutions. That's
no,
why
he
we
didn't.
teamed up with
And like
Adaptive
10
Networks
people knew
because they
exactly.
know
Oh, that's all I
IT
wrote.
businesses are
No,
exactly
he
alike.
didn't.
And
And I was
your
going to say,
IT
bring in
shouldn't be
Tanner
either.
Scott.
While
But I
other
just said, no, he
MSPs
didn't.
offer one-size
And like
fits all
10 people knew
packages,
exactly
Adaptive
what I was
Networks
talking
takes the
about.
time to listen
In the
and
ninth,
understand
again?
your specific challenge.
In the first
industry
batter,
requirements.
it's a
They
double
build
blows
custom
no-hitter.
technology solutions
I'm like,
that actually fit
we're in
your
trouble.
business, not the other way around. So whether you're a small company or a growing
no
enterprise,
kidding.
Adaptive
And they
Networks
had the time
adapts
right at the
to
plate.
you. Their customer-driven approach.
oh,
means
this, I,
you
I was
get
I was
exactly
predicting
what you
200
need.
home runs.
So don't settle for generic IT support. Call Adaptive Networks today and discover what truly customized technology
We're in
solutions
trouble.
can do
We're
for
in
your
trouble.
business.
And we
Adaptive
got to play now. It
Networks,
looks like
because
we've
your
lost
business
Philly,
is unique
so we're gonna
and your
play that
IT
best
should
of
be
2 out of
as
3
well.
just to
Visit
continue to the playoffs.
adaptive-net.com or call
It's outstanding.
661-241-0638.
It's never been better. 2 no-hitters in 7 innings in 72 hours. I know. I mean, he's having a career. I know, like 10
Looking
years.
for flooring? It's on sale at America Ceramics.
Thanks again.
Looking for
All right,
kitchen
take care. Good luck
countertops?
tomorrow.
It's on sale at America Ceramics. How about shower tile? Yep, that's on sale too at America Ceramics. At America Ceramics, everything you need to transform your space is marked down for the summer. From sleek stone surfaces to
Yeah, I
bold
ran into him
backsplash
and,
tiles. They
his
have
brother.
it, and it's all on sale. Bring big
Scott
ideas to America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale
brother
Avenue. Or visit AmericaCeramics.com to get started. But don't wait. Styles and savings are going fast, and this summer sale won't last forever. America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue. Or visit AmericaCeramics.com to get started.
Later, let's do later, something like that. And he goes, I heard you give a crap about going SC.
Jack is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
But as yet I haven't met 'em. That's why I'm in the shape I'm in. Here another Saturday night.
842-5376, 842-KEI. And again, I want to thank Jeremy Tobias and all the folks at Cap Cave for the incredible work that they do. And I hope you guys will come downtown and swing by KGT 17 Compassion Corner. They'll be there all day long, almost 12 hours from 7 to 6. And just you know, all that stuff, like, God, I should get rid of those chicken wings I've got. In fact, I think, you know what? It is a good time to defrost. I've got those chicken wings. I've got some seafood. Could I give them seafood?
Yeah, I would probably not, just because.
I've got a couple of trout in there that I have not done anything with.
How long has it been?
Like 2009. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's been a while. It's been a while. But those chicken legs that I said I was going to fry, I never did. I did like a couple of them, but I could do that. So you could just clean out your freezer. That's remarkable. They're taking perishable goods. They're going to have a freezer down there. So clean out the kitchen and clean out the cabinets, and let's try to help our neighbors. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got on the board?
Ralph, would you help someone who got involved be the second or third guy?
Yes, I think I would. I'm not certain. Again, I'm an avowed coward. I'm not certain I could go after a guy with a knife that just cut somebody's throat. I think as he walked away, I would have tackled him, try to get him in a half Nelson and slam his head on the pavement and get that knife out of his hand. I don't know if I could just, with him walking at me with a knife, take him on. But there's no way in the world, I know myself, there's no way in the world I could sit back and watch somebody collapse after they just had their throat cut. I just, there's no way. There's no way in the world. And I know that because I helped this young woman who I was talking about this accident that happened on 24th Street. And I just by some stupid coincidence, I think I was in the backyard swinging my golf clubs with my golf bag, and I heard this bam, and this girl cut, and I ran back and I tore off my golf towel, and I tried to help her stop the bleeding. Because again, if you've never seen somebody cut, and I'm not talking about your kids scraping their knee, I'm talking about like a deep abrasion. You have no idea how quickly blood flows out of the body. So yeah, I'm absolutely certain that I would have tried to do something, although, you know, you cut the jugular, there's not much you can do unless you're, I mean, you could be laying in an emergency room and have your jugular cut, and you're still probably not going to make it. I'm kind of, and I appreciate it, Lily, but I'm depressed that I saw that just the fact that there was about a 10-second period where she realized what had just happened. And it's right before she goes into, well, it's probably before she died, where she's sitting, we're talking about the young girl in Charlotte who had her throat cut by DeCarlos Brown Jr. And she looks up at him, and then she looks down at her wound, and then she just slowly collapses, and no one comes to her assistance. Not one soul. It's tragic. What else you got?
I'm waiting for them to somehow blame her for his actions.
Well, I don't know if there's any way in the world you could blame her. I think they won't blame him, nor will they blame the judge. The judge who had him sign a piece of paper and released him after 14 arrests should be removed from the bench. Should absolutely be removed from the bench. That's where our fight has to begin, with liberal judges who are slapping violent, mentally ill suspects on the wrist and allowing them to walk out of jail. It just doesn't make any sense. And we need to create some kind of legislation that deals with career criminals. There is a difference between people who get arrested and career criminals. Everybody can screw up once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. But if you've been in court 5, 6, 7 times, we can as a society agree that let's go with a half a dozen. That if you commit 6 crimes, that constitutes career criminality, which demands a 10-year sentence, automatic. You know, we instituted 3 strikes. Why can't we institute mandatory sentencing for career criminals? And this guy was in the double digits, 14. And you know, if he doesn't kill her, if he just beat her up, he would have been slapped on the wrist and been sent out again. There'd have been no bail if he had just beaten her up. But we wait until someone dies, and then there's hoopla. And there wasn't even hoopla for her murder, because again, you would think the way we're talking about this and the way the media now is suddenly all over this story, you would have thought that this happened last week or maybe even a couple of days ago. This happened August the 22nd. August the 22nd and September 9th. It's crazy. What else you got?
The Fourth Amendment no longer applies to Hispanic Americans, citizens, or people.
They're talking about yesterday's decision by the Supreme Court, which we talked about yesterday. I agree. I absolutely agree. The Supreme Court has given ICE and the Trump administration carte blanche to just swoop up people based on if they're speaking Spanish or if they have brown skin, or if they have a low-wage job at a cannabis field or an avocado field, a pistachio field. They can just roam the fields where these Latinos are picking our fruit and our agriculture and swoop them up simply based on no probable cause. The probable cause is they're brown-skinned and they speak Spanish. and they have a low-wage job, which is typical of part of the Latino community. That's insane. It is a complete violation of the Fourth Amendment, and it is what it is. And so now, I suppose, and I couldn't get a real answer out of Kathy about this, but I guess the whole point now of the Trump administration is to swoop up everyone who has ever entered our country illegally and get them out of here. I never thought that that was the goal of this administration when I pulled the lever back in November. And I'm not certain what I would have done, because there's no way in hell I could have voted for Kamala Harris. But I'm not certain I would have signed off on this idea that we're just going to swoop up everyone that came into this country illegally and get them the hell out of here. I thought it was to get the Venezuelans out of here who were taking over apartment complexes. I thought it was about MS-13 and getting violent criminals out of here. I thought it was about illegal aliens who spit on the sidewalk. Hell, I don't care what your crime is. If you came here illegally and we lent a blind eye and you can't keep your nose clean, I don't give a damn if it's jaywalking. You got to go. And what about the folks that are hiring these people? If you really want to get after this, if you really want to put an end to illegal aliens surviving and thriving in the United States, then you go after the white, rich agriculture farmers who are hiring these people. Somebody's putting them to work, and it certainly ain't Mexicans. Quick time out. We head into the back half of the hour. We'll talk about the Israeli attack on Doha when we come back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With us for the news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. An Israeli strike targeting Hamas's top leaders as they gathered in the Gulf nation of Qatar marked a major escalation against the terrorist group and could upend negotiations aimed at ending the war in the Gaza Strip and returning Israeli hostages. It could also spark a diplomatic crisis with Qatar, a U.S. ally. The Justice Department has charged a man with the fatal stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee on a North Carolina commuter train. The charge means he could face the death penalty. DeCarlos Brown Jr. has a lengthy arrest record with 14 prior criminal cases. He allegedly killed 23-year-old Irvenia Zarutska last month on a train in Charlotte. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 196 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. Kyle Condor is out. He is no longer CSU Bakersfield's athletic director. That is the word put out in an email from University President Vernon Harper. The change was made effective immediately. Dr. Sarah Tuahi has been named as acting director of athletics while the university begins its search for a replacement. Condor was named athletics director in 2022. He had previously worked at Southern Methodist and Tulane University. Ridgecrest police are on the lookout for two suspects they say robbed a liquor store. Their pictures are posted on RPD social media. Anyone who recognizes them or knows where they are is asked to contact the Ridgecrest Police Department. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle or forget extra diapers and never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face, never let them have too much screen time, and never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed, never ever become a minivan mom, and you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling, boss, work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's Megyn Kelly live on stage at Dignity Health Arena November 20th with special guests Charlie Kirk and Victor David Hanson. Get tickets this Wednesday at 10 a.m. at MegynKelly.com. Presented by Y-Refi and SiriusXM.
Wednesday's Armstrong and Getty show will continue to look at the nation's report card that just came out that show that our kids in school are falling further and further and further behind.
And was I too harsh in criticizing the dad who handed over the baseball to the screaming lunatic woman? Perhaps we'll share emails we have received. And the news of the day, whatever that turns out to be, on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180. KERN. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180. KERN.
That's what just keep sending them out there. Just keep sending them out there. Dang. They can't think what they can't use it. That's such a say I know a little. I you know a little about it. I know a little. I know a little about it. I know a little about love. And maybe I can guess the rest. 842-537-6842-KERN. So all of Western Europe is abuzz. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, even Emmanuel Macron, who, according to Candace Owens, is married to a man. Where's that gone? We haven't heard anything about that. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, Candace Owens, the controversial now podcaster, because she got booted from her radio gig, is putting her career on the line, insisting that Emmanuel Macron's much older wife, who was once his school teacher, is a man. That's what she's hinging her whole career upon. And in an unprecedented bit of current events, and this is old news, I'm not pretending that this is just broke, just in case you didn't know what I was alluding to. The Macrons, the leader of France, Emmanuel and his wife, are suing Candace Owens for, probably billions. I don't know what the lawsuit is, but I haven't heard much about that. But even Macron jumped in going after Benjamin Netanyahu for the strikes on Hamas in the capital of Qatar. And, Qatar, we're running out of friends in the Middle East. And Qatar is one of our dear friends. Now, again, it's the reality of global politics. Our friends are our friends because they're not our enemies. You know what I'm saying? The enemy of our enemy is our friend. That's our friendship with Qatar. That's our friendship with Saudi Arabia. These aren't good people. They really aren't. Let's don't forget that Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Arabian leader, killed a journalist, literally dismembered him. They asked for a meeting. He walked in. He never walked out. Just absolutely wiped him out. No repercussions, no nothing, because they are a powerful, endless string of money. And that's what apparently life in the 21st century is all about. Money can erase all issues. And now seeking out leaders of Hamas who use Qatar, that's why I say they're not exactly our friends, because they house many of the leaders of Hamas, no secret. So the Israelis discovered where they were staying and bombed their residential headquarters, killing other civilians as well. And much to the chagrin of Donald Trump and, as I mentioned, Western leaders in Europe, here is Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on the White House's position.
This morning, the Trump administration was notified by the United States military that as Israel was attacking Hamas, which very unfortunately was located in a section of Doha, the capital of Qatar. Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal. President Trump immediately directed Special Envoy Witkoff to inform the Qataris of the impending attack, which he did. The president views Qatar as a strong ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of this attack. President Trump wants all of the hostages in Gaza and the bodies of the dead released, and this war to end now. President Trump also spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu after the attack. The Prime Minister told President Trump that he wants to make peace, and quickly. President Trump believes this unfortunate incident could serve as an opportunity for peace. The president also spoke to the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar and thanked them for their support and friendship to our country. He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
I think that was incredibly carefully worded because you've got two alleged allies that you have to deal with, Israel and Qatar. And I find it hard to believe that the president was notified by the military and not by the Israelis. I don't know why, but I find that hard to believe. And I think that, because it's one of the first questions that was asked in the press secretary room, did the president try to dissuade Netanyahu? And by saying that he was notified by the military and not notified by the Israelis, gets him off the hook for perhaps not staving this thing off. I too find it hard to believe that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't know exactly what he was doing. In other words, I think he's in the Vladimir Putin pool. He don't want peace. He doesn't want peace. He wants to stay in power. He's being pushed by the right-wing end of his party that wants to simply destroy Hamas, period, end of sentence. And of course, there's always my part of my sentiment that completely understands that. Let us not forget how this thing started in October of 2023, when 1,500 Israelis were attacked on their own place. And the fact that there are still hostages being kept. To be blunt with you, I don't think Benjamin Netanyahu or that end of the Israeli government, the Knesset, gives a damn about the hostages. I think they want to destroy Hamas, period. That's it. Just as Vladimir Putin wants to take over Ukraine, period, end of sentence. There's no negotiating with either one of these men on either one of these issues, in my opinion. I really believe that. And Trump is caught in the middle of this thing, all on account of the Biden administration not doing anything to stave off the 150,000 Russian troops that were on the border when Uncle Fluffy simply said, don't. You know, anytime he was asked, what would you say to Vladimir Putin about these troops on the border of Ukraine? Don't. That was literally his response, if you remember. Don't. But Netanyahu is out of control at this point. I truly believe this. And the other things that are going on in Israel, they're blocking streets everywhere. Why? Because they have searched 70% of the homes in Israel searching for Hamas. 70% of the homes. And there have been issues, according to reported reports, that people are not getting to hospitals because roads are blocked off for hours in these searches of the homes. They're obsessed with Hamas And you really can't blame them. But at some point, there has to be peace. At some point, there has to be a cessation of violence. This just can't go on. The pictures from Gaza are ridiculous, absurd, hard to view. People fighting over food, literally. There was a piece on, I think maybe it was Fox, where they interviewed this young girl whose home had recently been bombed, and she was searching through her things, and they interviewed her, and she said, these were one time my nicest clothes, and now I just feel like a bum, or I'm paraphrasing, I feel like trash or something like that. She's literally going through rubble, picking up her dresses. This has got to stop. It has to stop, and it never will. Until Hamas is completely destroyed, which they never will, they'll pop up. It's like hedgehog. They'll pop up somewhere. And neither will the situation in Ukraine stop until either Benjamin Netanyahu is taken out, either violently or through some sort of election, which isn't going to happen anytime soon. And the same thing for Vladimir Putin, who I think is due up for a re-election in the year 2047. And again, remember the mindset of these people. On an open mic in that infamous meeting that included Modi, Prime Minister of India, and Kim Jong-un, and all the Riddler, the Joker, all the bad guys of global politics, Putin and Xi are caught on what's called an open mic. And, I'm the king of that when I walk around with my microphone on, talking about immortality. The two of them believe that you can, they've got the Walt Disney thing going on, where they truly believe, not that you can be frozen, but that your organs can be transplanted and that you can live forever. They truly believe this. And again, Putin scheduled a re-election for him in, I think, 2048. Xi just said, screw it, there will be no elections. This is, I don't think we all realize how incredibly dangerous the world is right now. I really don't. I really, really don't. And again, maybe it's just me, because I truly believe there's no way in hell, and I did that on purpose, there's no way in hell that we can live peacefully for another 100, 200, 300, 400 years, however long. I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't. I think there are too many religious zealots. I think that nuclear weapons have become too prolific. The idea that India and Pakistan have nuclear weapons and they just almost got into a full stage conflict. I think we're going to blow this rock up, this third rock from the sun. I really do. And I just don't think we really embrace how dangerous the world is right now. Quick time out. We're coming right back. Check the board again, see what you all are talking about. I haven't even checked what's going on in the chat room back here. Don't forget, you can watch us do the broadcast, the JR Show at 2 o'clock, TRBS at 3, by subscribing on YouTube. Just go to Kern Radio, click on to either JR Flores or Ralph Bailey. My Uber driver was listening to another AM talk station. Should I tip him?
The salty part of me says no.
And I'm pretty sure he knew who I was. Now your name does pop up when you order an Uber. But when he pulled up, I was getting my mail. And he rolled down his window and he yelled, "Ralph, I'm right here." Now again, your name pops up, but I'm pretty sure he knew who I was.
Was he a good driver?
Yeah. And he stopped at the mobile and let me get some water.
Yeah, tip him.
Yeah, I gave him $3. Which I'm beginning to realize, for an $8 drive, that's damn near a 50% tip. I'm like, $3? Quick time. I gave a kid, was it last night? No, it was the night before. I gave a kid $6 and the kid tried to hug me. It was a young black kid. And he goes, "Oh, bless you." And I'm like, "You don't have to hug me, son. Go right ahead." Quick time out. Coming right back. We'll wrap up the 4 o'clock hour. Check the board, see what you all are talking about. Our phone number, 842-5376, 842-KERN. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180, KERN. We're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. It's the JR Show.
Have you guys been down California Avenue lately between Real Road and Stockdale? My goodness, the construction is an absolute mess. You can't get in and out of businesses during certain times. It rotates. Nobody is notifying anybody about when roads are going to be open. The city has dropped the ball on this. Seriously, it took me 15 minutes just to get home from work. I live right across the street. I could have walked home faster. And the worst part is, it's going to last till the end of October.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
The Cotton Patch Quilters of Kern County present an afternoon fundraising event under the Sea Auction, Saturday, October 11th, beginning at 11 a.m. at the Women's Club of Bakersfield. For over 40 years, the local guild has been supplying quilts, pillowcases, teddy bears, and dog beds to Kern County veterans, neonatal intensive care units, at-risk kids, shelters, and fire victims. There will be handmade donation quilts sold through live and silent auctions, a boutique of handmade items, raffle baskets, door prizes, and other surprise happenings. A professional auctioneer will lead the auction, and lunch will be catered by Mossman's. The Under the Sea auction is being custom crafted by members and will showcase over 40 heirloom quality quilts. Tickets for the event are $65 and available at the She Shed by the Peachy Pig, 1518 19th Street, or online at CPQ's website, cottonpatchquiltguild.org, prior to the event. No tickets will be sold at the door, advanced to sales only.
2,400 customers without power in South Carolina.
Newberry, Michigan expected to be without power for 24 hours.
Over 25,000 people without power in Cleveland, Ohio.
These are real headlines from just the last few days.
You know, I was looking at that the other day. I didn't realize that was a whole ring. I thought it was just like the top of it out of a display case, but no, it's a whole ring.
You can't even wear it. It only fits on my middle finger.
Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty sweet, though.
Could you wear this, though?
Nah, I mean, maybe around your house just gloating to friends and stuff like that, but I mean...
Oh, Lord.
Oh, please tell me you can get it off your finger.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Lord.
You got to be shitting me.
Throw some water on your finger.
You got to be shitting me.
No way. Well,
I got it.
I was going to say, Link can't get it off now.
Mike's got a championship ring like this.
Really?
That he wears on occasion.
It's actually his, though, right?
Huh?
Is it actually his?
Yeah, he won it, I think, either at San Diego State. Yeah, it has to be San Diego State.
Yeah, because he wasn't on a championship team in the NFL, I don't think.
No, he wasn't on any of the championship teams with the Giants. Because when did they win the Super Bowl? 80, 89? 88? God, that hurt.
Business. We've got you covered with fast turnarounds, great prices, and the personalized local service you deserve. Are you ready to stand out? Visit kvprint.com or call 661-327-1772 today for a free quote. KV Print and Bakersfield Signs. Your brand, your style, our print.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Ooh, what's left of this world? The world he left behind.
Let's shake up the music a little bit. Let's just hear stuff we haven't heard. Let's do some. God, I made a list this weekend, and I don't know what I did with it. Just, I don't know, just funky. I don't care. Just something different. So I don't start singing.
You don't want to sing anymore?
No. Because I once again heard it on YouTube. And I was like, wow, that's really bad. And you know, there's like a handful of people who encourage me. I like it when you sing. Well, you're tone deaf. Good, googly moogly.
Makes you feel better about singing yourself.
Not really. No, I know how bad it is. I look at these people like, really? You know who told me that I didn't have a bad voice? Scott's guy, Monty Byram.
Really?
Swear to God. And he's a musician. Apparently not a very good one. No, I'm kidding. He's a great musician. Not a great ear for talent, apparently, but a great musician and a really good guy. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got on the board?
While the attack on the train was horrific and tragic, not every individual murder in this country makes national news. Trump wants to use this on his for his tough on crime charade. The media doesn't have to play along just because it's what he wants to talk about. Where are the Epstein files, by the way?
You're really going to compare the Epstein files to a young Ukrainian refugee getting her throat cut on a train? Really? And the point of the story is the fact that the media completely ignored this story. And you're making it sound like this was just another murder. No, this was a murder that should have never happened. Don't you understand that? Really? You can't comprehend career criminals, people who have gone before 14 times walking the streets. And what if that was your daughter? What if that's your daughter-in-law? What if that's your granddaughter? And she's killed by some psycho, mentally ill person whose mother wanted him institutionalized. His mother wanted him institutionalized. And somehow, some way, he fell through the crack and is walking the streets with a knife in his hand and just waiting to pounce on somebody. Doesn't matter who it is. Yes, we have murders that happen every day, but they are many times premeditated. They are often gang-related. If we could just remove the gang-related murders, our murder rate would be like Switzerland's. But random murders on citizens who are simply trying to get home from work? And you want to throw this in a category of Trump trying to pump this up as something that just doesn't really matter that much? He's just using it. Well, what do you think would have happened if that had been a black girl that had her throat cut? Can you imagine how the Democrats would be going just ballistic about this thing? Meanwhile, Daniel Penny gets on a train with a crazed man who's talking about killing people. The Marine takes him down, puts him in a chokehold, and the guy happens to perish. And what happens? Once again, the liberals are on the side of the suspect and not the man who now we realize potentially saved many lives on that train. And yet you're going to play political nonsense with this and try to bring Donald Trump into this? This is about a liberal judge who had a man in his courtroom who had been arrested 13 times. This was his 14th. And he said, son, you don't need a nickel to get out of jail. Just sign this piece of paper and walk out of court. I'll see you when you commit your 15th crime. Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, his 15th crime was a murder, so he doesn't have to go before this idiot judge. I think it's a female who let him go. At least with this crime, he goes away forever. But yet there's a 23-year-old girl who came to this country to be safe. That's what makes it different. This is a Ukrainian refugee whose country right now, right this second, is being bombed. Right this very second, and this second, and right now, her country is being bombed. And she ran for her life like Jews leaving Germany in the 1930s. And she came where? To America. where it's safe, where you can walk the streets. And all she did was clock out at her pizza place, try to get home, and had the unfortunate, ridiculous luck of sitting behind a guy with 14 arrests on his books and 14 different judges who said, just go on your merry way, sir. Oh, yeah, he did a little 5-year stint for armed burglary. And then after that, another judge let him go. And yet you're going to bring up Donald Trump. Wow. That is incredible. Nothing short of incredible. Well, I hope your party thinks like you. And I hope you guys campaign on that. You know, even Gavin Newsom now is starting to get tough. He's sending CHP all over the state now. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Gavin. It's just like San Francisco. Just like San Francisco. Feces, needles, the smell of urine everywhere. Oh, wait, Xi's on his way. Let's clean up the house. We're having company. Yeah, where you been, coach? Where you been? Quick timeout, last hour of the broadcast. I'd stick around if I you.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. KERNradio.com.
King's hours of Town Hall, live Keith Peters in Washington. Israel launched a strike targeting Hamas's leadership in Qatar as they considered a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip.
This strike occurred at a sensitive time in ongoing ceasefire efforts aimed at ending the war. The U.S. this week said it had presented a new proposal, and this latest strike is sure to complicate any efforts at resuming the negotiations. Negotiations have been deadlocked for months. Hamas is demanding guarantees that Israel will end the war altogether and withdraw all of its troops from Gaza before it releases the hostages it's still holding. But Israel says it won't end the war until Hamas releases the hostages, gives up power, and agrees to disarm.
Correspondent Joseph Fetterman reporting. Hamas said in a statement that all of its leaders survived the attack, but that 5 lower-ranked members were killed. Qatar says a member of its internal security force died and others were wounded in the attack. The Department of Homeland Security starts a new operation targeting illegal immigrants in Chicago. Correspondent Ben Thomas reports.
Homeland Security's announced what it's calling Operation Midway Blitz, targeting people without legal permission to live in the U.S. who have criminal records. On social media, posting mugshots of 11 foreign-born men it said should be deported. But the operation appears to be separate from the law enforcement crackdown President Trump's been promising.
You have, over just a short period of time, 50 murders and hundreds of people shot.
A handful of immigration arrests over the weekend brought out Chicago activists. I'm Ben Thomas.
Missouri's Republican-led House has passed a plan to redraw the state's congressional districts at the urging of President Trump. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 196 points, the Nasdaq rose 80. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Guess who's watching Rob Finnerty on Newsmax? President Trump is. He even says Finnerty's show is so terrific. Millions are joining President Trump to watch Finnerty every night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. All this week, Rob looks at the media's war on President Trump. Rob gives you the facts about the National Guard in cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. He tells you the real truth about the Jeffrey Epstein files, and he reveals the big media's agenda on Trump's health. You need to watch Rob Finnerty on Newsmax. Check out your local cable system. Newsmax is on all major systems. Or download the free Newsmax app. It costs you nothing, and you can watch in minutes. Finnerty is the fastest growing primetime news show in America. Find out why even President Trump is tuning in. More than 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for news they can trust. Because we are real news for real people.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins, an assistant men's basketball coach, is up on charges of human trafficking. CSUB assistant coach Kevin Mays has been a coach there for 6 years and is an alumnus of the university. Mays appeared in court on Monday. He faces a total of 6 felonies, which include pimping, pandering, as well as drug and gun charges. He's also under a no-contact order with a woman who prosecutors say was his victim, and he's ordered to stay away from a Southwest Bakersfield apartment complex. Last month, BPD received a tip that a woman was being trafficked through California, Oregon, and Washington state. Mays is being held on $500,000 bail. A man attempting a home invasion in East Bakersfield has been arrested. BPD says he tried to break into an apartment at the 500 block of Niles Street. They received reports at around 1:15 Monday morning. Officers say they caught him in the act as they arrived. 37-year-old Pierre Freeman faces multiple charges that include burglary, resisting arrest, and vandalism, and being under the influence of a controlled substance. A man is sentenced to 11 years behind bars in the case of the Superior Grocers homicide. It happened in the store parking lot on New Year's Day 2023 after Demetrius Ford Jr. threw a punch. The employee hit his head on the concrete. Juan Carlos Cervana died hours later. Prosecutors say Ford instigated the fight. The employee had been trying to act as a peacemaker at the time. A motorcycle rider suffers serious injuries after a crash northeast of Bakersfield. It happened a little after 5:30 Monday evening in the area of Garces Highway, just west of Blue Mountain Road. According to CHP, the motorcycle went down an embankment, falling at least 10 feet. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Bada bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Tuesday, 9th day of September. It is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live, KERNradio.com. Still lots to do in the final hour. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Our former federal agent, Howard Marcus, will be with us. And we have something else scheduled for tomorrow, do we not?
We do. The good folks at SSD Alarms will be joining us to talk about their. They were just on JR's show, and he talked about it. And I'm drawing a blank on the drive right now.
And they were on the noon show today, and I can't remember either. But they'll be with us tomorrow, and we'll have more on what they're talking about.
It's a first responders lunch thing that they do every year. It's their 23rd annual, and I'm just forgetting the name of it at the moment. But
But they'll be with us tomorrow as well. So I'm out of trouble.
Really?
Yes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Betting?
No.
Oh.
No, I lost all 3 last night.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you got away with not having to pay the $10 or something?
No, I got $30 left. I've lost 2 bets. I bet 10 at a time. This next one will be a big one.
$30 left or $20 left?
30. I put in 50. Did I put in 40?
I thought you said you told me you put in 40.
Did I? Let's check. Let us check. Let us not rely on the memory of a doddering old man. Let's just go to the source. I have that number doesn't make sense. I have 23.14 left.
You got $3.14 back at some point, or did you maybe have that left over?
Oh, that's exactly right. I had 40. I made 2 10 bets, and I probably had $3.14 before I put the 40 in. Yeah, you're right. But my next one will be the big one. I'll go for like 5 or 6.
You're just gonna put all of it in there?
No, I'll put the 10, and then Then the last one will be the safe one to try to get my 50 back.
True.
And then if I lose that, I'm just done. But I'm out of trouble. You don't remember why I said I was in trouble? When I came in and said, ooh, I'm in trouble.
Did you call the department?
I did. I've rescheduled my jury duty assignment. I've been assigned October the 27th. I was given the option of the 20th and the 27th, and I put the 27th. Ooh.
It's a Monday.
Ooh. That might, we need to get a hard date on our fundraiser.
Yeah.
Because Brunch Fest is the Saturday the 11th.
Correct.
Then the next honor flight is either that Monday or Tuesday for 3 days. And then we were thinking about doing the annual fundraiser either that Friday or the Friday after that. So
the 17th and the 24th.
Okay, so where's the 17th?
17th would be the Saturday after Brunch Fest.
So then we should
the Friday after Brunch Fest.
So then we should probably do it the 24th,
which would
is
be
the
the
following Friday
right before you have to go to.
Exactly, because we don't want to do it after the 27th, just in case.
Right.
I get on a case.
Which more than likely you're going to get called because you're going to be right in the front of the list.
Why do you say that?
Because you missed the last time and your name starts with a B, which means you're going to be right at the top.
That's how they do it?
Oh, heck yeah.
That if you miss, they put you at the top?
Oh, heck yeah.
How do you know that?
Oh, no, I don't know that for sure, but I can promise you right now, I can guarantee it's going to happen.
Look, I enjoyed it the last time I did it. I've been called twice. I remember distinctly the first time I went. It was when Coco Gauff was 15 years old. It was in the middle of the summer, and is when she made her first run at Wimbledon. I know this because I called Scott's show that morning because I was sitting around 7 o'clock in the morning and listening to Coco Gauff. She pulled off a huge upset, and I had nothing to do. And I don't know whether Scott was talking about tennis or not. I think he must have been, because why would I just call out of nowhere? But I had nothing to do, so I walked outside, sitting in that room, waiting to be called. So I walked outside and I called Scott's show and I just said, this girl's going to be a superstar. This girl, 15 years old, I think she got to the semis that year. She's going to be a superstar. She still hasn't won Wimbledon. She's now 21. And, yeah, so I'm good. And again, we had the guy that we've banned, I think, who somehow brought up my father and said something like, your father would be embarrassed or ashamed of you. Forgetting is no excuse. And I damn near cursed him out on YouTube. I was like, don't you ever. If you ever want to get to me, bring up my dad. If you ever want to really kick, there's not much people can say that gets under my skin. You can bring up my issues, whatever, but do not make allusions to a man you never knew or that you couldn't pick out in a lineup, and a man who, well, let's just leave it alone. 842-5376, 842-KRN. So did you guys see that there has been a new twist in the Philly Karen story? One of the most amazing things about this story is nobody's identified her yet. Nobody, how is that possible? Like, they had the names of the CEO and his side chick like the next day. They not only had their names of where they worked, what their positions were. She was with HR. He was the CEO. But nobody's ratted out Philly Karen. And again, for the two people that have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, it's a Philly Marlins game down in Miami. Bader, what's his name? Harrison Bader hits a home run into the bleachers. The ball is bouncing around. The woman, the Philly Karen, it falls in the aisle in front of her. She goes down to reach for it, but a father of a 10-year-old has walked down the aisle and he picks it up first. And she feels, since she was reaching for it, or maybe she might have even had her mitts on it, but as far as I'm concerned, the rule has always been, hey, whoever walks away with it's got it. I don't care if he's got to take it out of your hand. Whoever ends up with it's got it. Period. End of sentence. The father goes back. His name is Drew Feltman, and hands it to his 10-year-old boy his 9-year-old boy who's about to turn 10. And the boy is delighted. He hugs his son, and Philly Karen walks up. That's my ball. I had it. You took that away from me. Blah, blah, blah. And the dad, who, as you will find out as I continue to discuss this, the most reasonable, smart dad out there. He takes the ball literally out of his son's glove, hands it to the lady, and literally wishes her off. Just go away. We don't need this smoke. Just go. Well, fortunately, the Marlins saw what was going on. Marlins officials, it was in Miami. They come down. They give him a bunch of swag, Marlins swag. They tell him to wait. They bring him down to the clubhouse to meet Bader. He gets a bat signed by Bader. Then an RV magnet not only gives the family a RV for free, but they've got 4 tickets to the World Series no matter who goes. So like I said yesterday, they should be sending this woman Christmas cards. He should find out where she lives and kiss her on the mouth. Best thing ever happened to her. Meantime, her life's has got to be like hell among the people that do know her. Her coworkers know who she is. She just looks like such an ass. And now, and it's just amazing that people can act that stupid in public. Do they not listen to the Ralph Bailey Show? Have they not heard me warn you? The minute you take your key out of your front door and literally begin to walk to your car, you're on somebody's Ring camera. And as you drive down the street, you're on somebody's camera. And as you get into the business section, you're on camera almost throughout your entire day. No matter where you go, you are on camera. And how these people continue to act like asses. The CEO who stole the cap from the tennis kid. How these people continue to, imagine who these people are behind closed doors. Well, you're saying, well, Ralph, everything you've told us ain't new. What's new? Well, a major trading card retailer has offered, do you hear about this? Did you hear about this?
Which one now?
Would you pay attention to the damn show?
I'm paying attention.
That a major trading card retailer has offered Philly Karen $5,000. Now, obviously, there is a caveat. Not only does he want her to return the ball, he wants an "I'm sorry" written on the ball. Does she do it for 5 G's?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
You think a baseball's worth 5 G's?
No, it's not that. But at this point,
she'd have to come out of the weeds.
Yeah, and she's probably dealt with so much already. She's probably like,
hey,
not doing nothing.
This is the best way to solve her problem.
It really is.
Do you know how do you do it if you're her? How do you kind of put this to bed?
Personally, give the ball back to the kid.
And?
Probably with an open apology in some sort of video manner.
Incorrect. You're not a problem solver, Chris Burdick. I'm a problem solver. I know how to get out of stuff. It's not the error that you make, it's how you handle it. It's not the fact that she snatched that ball, it's how she handles it. This is how Ralph Bailey would handle it. If I'd had a couple beers, somebody took the ball away from me, and I went and argued and took it from the kid, and now I'm on blast, but nobody knows who I am, and this guy offers me $5,000 if I give it back to him, you know what I do?
Give him the $5,000.
Thank you. There you go. There you go. Now you've stumbled staggeringly, haphazardly. You go to the kid, you find out where he lives, you show up at his house, you give him the ball, you sign it, "I'm sorry," and you give him 5 G's, and you walk away. And you walk away. And then you maybe even have a news conference. I don't know what got into me. That's not who I am. You can talk to anybody. But, the exhilaration of getting a baseball, and I thought I had it, and this guy took it away from me, and all I saw was the adult. I didn't even really pay attention that it was going to a young boy. That's why I've returned it. That's why I've donated the $5,000. You even ask the family, you can either take the 5 G's or I'll donate it to your favorite charity, or you can take the 5 G's with you to the World Series. And you walk away. And you've at least You're still bleeding, but you've at least put a tourniquet on it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some folks that literally she was getting death threats. People wanted her fired from her job. Those people, as I said earlier this week, are just as nutsy cuckoo as Philly Karen. You really want to destroy a woman's life because she acted like an ass at a ball game? If we did that, stadiums all over the country would be empty. Are you kidding me? There was just an incident in a football game this weekend where some guy got kicked in the head and beat the crap out of. Are you kidding? That's how you get out of it. You just walk away, give them the 5 Gs, give them the ball back. Because, I mean, she not only took the ball, but now there's, because everybody that took video is now putting it on Instagram. Have you seen the video where she turned and flipped everybody off?
Yeah.
I mean, this woman was like, screw y'all.
I feel bad for the husband. Imagine being married to that.
Was he there? Was the husband there?
Oh, yeah, it's the dude that was sitting next to her, I'm assuming.
You never know.
You never know anymore.
They might have not even known each other. But, God, people acting like asses. And again, the greatest video that I saw, and it's all on the algorithm, is they have a whole compilation of kids giving balls to other kids. And it's just beautiful to watch. It really is. And the classic, like I said yesterday, was the kid who was supposed to get a ball, but the adult ended up getting it. It was a home run. And the adult gave it to the kid who missed the catch. And then somehow God was like, now let's do that again. And somebody else hit a home run and the kid got it. So he turned around and now he has 2 home run balls. And he turned around to the guy that gave him the first one and gave him one of the balls. And the cutest one, and you can look this stuff up. You can Google this stuff. It's great video. This little kid has got a little cute little blonde 7-8-year-old sitting behind him. He's about 7 or 8 years old. He catches a line drive. And, the commentators, oh, look, that young man caught a ball. That's great. He's going to have a great day. And he turns around and he gives it to the young girl and she's beaming and he's like, oh, yeah. And the commentators are like, oh, isn't that great? That's the way we're supposed to be. Grown folks fighting over souvenirs. Good, googly muggly. Let's go ahead and take a break. Come back, check what you guys are talking about. Get to the bottom of the hour. Talk a little sports. A Tale of Two Cities. Excuse me. Written by Charles Dickens. Great book. Great book. But it was a tale of two halves last night in Chicago. My kind of town. Except on the weekends when people get shot. We'll talk about Caleb Williams. Dodgers going at it again last night after Tanner Scott blew a no-hitter. The second no-hitter that the Dodgers lost either in the 7th. Both of them were in the 9th. What am I talking about? The Dodgers in the last 72 hours have blown 2 no-hitters in the 9th inning. Yoshinobu Yamamoto gave up a home run with 8 2/3 of no-hit ball. And last night, the staff was about to get a no-hitter, but Dave Roberts brought in Tanner Scott. And I mean, it's just so frustrating to see him come in and just go, there's no way in hell he's going to get 3 outs. 1, 2, 3. No way in hell. And the first hitter hits a line drive over our left fielder's head for a double. We's going to have some problems when it comes to the playoffs. And why I went into Black Sambo mode there, I have no idea. What was that? What are you, Stymie? Our gang? I don't know what that was. So stupid. Quick time out. We're coming right back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Tuesday, right here on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KRN, streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.
Messmaker.
Play it. I didn't bring my
Start
drugs.
your day
God
right.
dang it.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Wednesday edition of the First Look program, it's only like my favorite day of the week. We get to talk medicine with my friend Dr. Dev. John Cox will be joining us to administer the California News Quiz. I will ace it. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hope you join us every Thursday, particularly at 4:30, when Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors joins us. Daniel gives us a weekly update on the deficit and its growth. We look at silver and gold and obviously the stock market and all kind of economic issues that most importantly impact you. But again, you guys know what Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors are all about. They're all about retirement. I keep telling you guys, it's one of the smartest moves that I've ever made financially. Call Daniel at 395-9400, 395-9400 if retirement is in your near future. Or just tune in Thursdays at 4:30 when he joins us every week. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, future, option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Oh no, Dad, I spilled juice on the carpet.
Don't worry, kiddo. We have stain-resistant carpet from Carpet Outlet Plus.
Dad, look, he dumped his water bowl all over the new floors.
Everything is fine. We have brand new waterproof floors from Carpet Outlet Plus. You can find everything you need for family-proof floor at Bakersfield's best flooring store. Now offering 1 year, no interest financing. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
There you go. That's a little something different. Haven't heard this in a while. I watched about 10 minutes of the MTV Awards. Totally lost. I heard songs I'd never heard before. I saw artists that I couldn't name if my life depended on it. That's why I couldn't do Jeopardy. I waited too long. I should have done Jeopardy like around the turn of the century. Did I tell you the story? I almost got on, what's the show with the woman that used to be on 2.5 Men? She's the host, and she's like, and you're fired, or whatever she would say. You got to get out of here, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I do.
It was a quiz show, and it had like 4 or 5 people, and
Weakest Link?
Weakest Link. Yeah, Weakest Link. I almost got on Weakest Link, and I made the idiotic mistake of saying that I had worked for the NBC affiliate, and that's what got me bounced. They had a quiz deal at the DoubleTree where you had to come out and fill out, a quiz thing. Got past that. There were 5 of us that got past that, including a really hot KBAK photographer back in the day named Deborah. And then they played the game where they had us get up in front of all the people, and we played the game.
Yeah, just to test if you know what you're doing.
Right. And I passed that. I was down to 3. And we were supposed to go on the show. So then you have to fill out this thing, and it asks for your past jobs, and like an idiot, because this is like 1999, 2000. And, my TV work was fairly recent. I'd just gotten out of TV in like 98. And I listed that, and they called me and they said, "I'm sorry, we can't accept folks that have worked for NBC before." I was like, "I didn't work for NBC." "You work for the local affiliate." I was like, "You got to be kidding me." And I didn't make it. And the photographer, Deborah, she made it. I don't know if she made any money, but that would have been fun. It's a weird game show, though. You can get bounced just because you're the smartest guy, and they want to eliminate you so they can win. So I was kind of wishy-washy about it. But now with pop culture, I could not do a game show. Last half hour of the broadcast. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1.
I should do another lap, but I'm just too lazy.
KERN.
No, I got to do it. I got to walk. I'm an old man.
In Washington, Chief Justice
walk.
John Roberts is temporarily keeping in place the Trump administration's
Now that I
decision
can
to
walk.
freeze nearly $5 billion in foreign aid. Roberts acted Tuesday on the administration's emergency appeal to the Supreme Court in a case involving billions of dollars in congressionally approved aid. President Trump said last month he would not spend the money. The Supreme Court is granting an unusually quick hearing on whether President Trump has the power under federal law to impose sweeping tariffs. The justices agreed Tuesday to hear the case in November, lightning fast by the usual standards of the nation's highest court. The tariffs will stay in place in the meantime. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 196 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. An assistant men's basketball coach is up on charges of human trafficking. CSUB assistant coach Kevin Mays has been a coach there for 6 years and is an alumnus of the university. Mays appeared in court on Monday. He faces a total of 6 felonies, which include pimping, pandering, as well as drug and gun charges. He's also under a no-contact order with a woman prosecutors say was his victim. A motorcycle rider suffers serious injuries after a crash northeast of Bakersfield. It happened a little after 5:30 Monday evening in the area of Garces Highway, just west of Blue Mountain Road. According to CHP, the motorcycle went down an embankment, falling at least 10 feet. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
It's Megyn Kelly live on stage at Dignity Health Arena, November 20th, with special guests Charlie Kirk and Victor David Hanson. Get tickets this Wednesday at 10 a.m. at megankelly.com. Presented by Y-Refi and SiriusXM.
Wednesday edition Clay Travis Buck Sexton show will break down the absolute latest ongoing tension in the Middle East as Israel has struck against the leaders of Hamas outside of the country. Plus, Congress getting ready to roll back in session. What are the priorities of Trump 2.0 now that he's got his big, beautiful bill passed? That'll be the Wednesday edition. Come hang with us on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Charlie Kirk Show. Weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Someone in the chat room, Stella's mom, to be exact, asked me, is that black woman in the background Mary McLeod Bethune? And yes, it is. One of the greatest educators of the 20th century. She formed an all-female black college in the 1910s, 1920s, and then combined with Cookman College, an all-male school, and created what we now know as Bethune-Cookman College, one of the finer historically black colleges. Yes, maybe it's time to, once again, for our new subscribers, to go through my pain in the butt collection. It's getting annoying putting these things up and taking them down every day. But yes, this is Mary Bethune-Cookman. The Dodger with the ridiculous hat on is part owner of the Dodgers, Magic Johnson. This is my, well, it's not mine actually, it's Rand Dizzle's down the hall who gave this to me for our collection, the Dodger championship ring. And they do this all the time. They just did it at the Dodger game that I went to on my vacation. It was with Ohtani, but my boy got to my house late from Sacramento. We didn't get there till like the second inning. And when they're giving away stuff to the first 40,000 and you show up in the second inning, guess what? You're going home empty-handed. But Randy gave me that to add to my collection. This is my Jackie Robinson statue that I got at the Dodger game when they, I believe it was at the Dodger game. Big Dog, was this at the Dodger game where they unveiled the statue that now exists? It's the replica of the statue that exists at Dodger Stadium. And if you haven't seen that, go up top and go check it out. Every April 15th, when Big Dog takes me to Dodger Stadium, the Dodgers meet up there and have a celebrity come and talk about Jack's contributions to not only baseball, to this country. And this year, and we saw him in the Dodger dining room, they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar come speak about Jack's legacy. Now, why would they select Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Mr. Burdick?
Because they both went to UCLA?
That's exactly correct. Nicely done. They're both graduates of the university. Well, Jackie didn't finish because he had to make some money. He was just units away from getting his degree, but did not get it. But and of course, I dropped it on the very first day that I got it. So Jack has no arms, unfortunately. What are you going to do? And of course, this is the original 30 home run quartet, the only group of 4 men on one baseball team that hit 30 home runs in a season. Going from my left, that's Ron Say and Reggie Smith. And to my right, your left, kneeling, is Dusty Baker and Steve Garvey. I love that. And the 2 awards, the glass awards back here, this one and the one with the Dodger cap, are the 2 of the 3 consecutive Kern Press Club awards I won for best radio program. Very proud of that. And then after the fourth year, after I won it 3 years in a row, they stopped handing out trophies for the radio division. And I think it was, like I said last week when I first introduced that, I think it was because, not just because I was winning it all the time, although I bet that played a part. Like if McKay and I maybe had gone back and forth with it, they might have continued it. But it was just Jazz and I that would compete because Scott and Inga didn't want to compete with something that you had to nominate yourself for. Which, of course, and no offense to Scott, no offense to the late Inga Barks, but that's about as dumb a thing as I've ever heard. Because to win a Pulitzer Prize, you have to submit something. All the awards at 17 wins, the Edward R. Murrow Awards and all that, like I said, there's no like grand committee. I'm sorry. I just find it funny that Scott has this impression that there's some grand commission that looks at all the television stations and all the radio stations and they pick who should be nominated. No! To win anything in media, you have to submit something. And then of the many, many that are submitted, they select 5 or 6 nominees, and then it goes to a press club outside of your community. I think our press club used to send it to San Diego, which I was really proud of. That's the only thing that I found pride in winning those things 3 times in a row, was that it was San Diego's pretty big market that examined our work. And so it ended up just being me versus Jazz McKay. And of course, I beat McKay every time. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me, Jazz McKay? No, he's a talented guy. He just can't get out of his own damn way. But it would have been fun if Scott and Inga had participated. I mean, I still would have won. No question about that. But they may have kept the awards going. I don't even know if the press club even exists anymore. I'm not sure. Sylvia Caricature, or whatever her last name is, at KUZZ used to be the president of that, and I think she's retired. I think all she does now is the parade, the Christmas parade, which is coming up. Are we going to participate in that this year?
I do not think so, but I could be wrong.
Was it last year with the accident?
I think it was 2
or was that
years
2
ago.
years ago? Yeah. So we didn't participate last year.
No, because I believe if last year everybody kind of just felt like it was a low year from the year before, and yeah, so we pulled out.
That was a weird night.
That really was.
That was a weird, weird night. We got down there because obviously getting off at 6, it was late, and JR and I drove to my house, and we left his car at my house, and we walked down 23rd Street to try to get to KGT. And all of a sudden, ambulances are speeding down 23rd Street. And we're like, what the hell is going on? And by the time we got to Compassion Corner, which is approximately where the parade begins, really right around the corner in the front end of where you enter into 17, there were rumors going around that they had canceled the parade. And so we quickly dispersed our guys, because we had Honor Flight guys that were going to be on our float. And so they were quickly sent home. Jay Reed shut down our music thing. We're going to have, our DJs from Hot and Hits do music throughout the parade. And then about 10 minutes later, they all of a sudden said, no, we're going to go ahead with the parade. And we had already broken down everything. And I got some audio from Karen Go and I think from Greg Terry for the next day's show, but they went ahead and went on with it. That was the night that I got to see Andre Gonzalez's corduroy green suit they'd been wearing for like 3 days straight. Corduroy green. AG, stay with the blue suit, would you please? Don't put that corduroy on. Anyway, but it ended up being a great night. Katie Barton, our then general manager, and her 2 kids, who I love to death. My man Bo, just an absolute genius. That kid is going to be a mover and shaker, Jack. That kid hasn't gotten a B in his life. He is like a math genius. And JR had Lily, and we all went to Casey's Steakhouse like a big family and had a great night. It really was fun. And the best part about it, I heard Scott the next morning complaining he didn't get invited. Because it was like Yeah, because you cut out. In fact, I don't think he ever came down.
Oh, he was there.
Was he there for a hot second?
Oh no, he was there for a while. He helped us put the stuff on the float and everything.
And then the second he heard that it was canceled, it was gone. And then they went ahead with it. And then we ended up at Case Steak. That was a fun night. It really was. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Let's clear the board and get the Samuel out of here. Because you know what night it is. You know what night it is. Don't interrupt me. You know what night it is.
Hip hop in Atlanta.
Well, yeah, but no. Love and hip hop Atlanta. Oh, it's a good night tonight. Oh, it's a good night tonight. It's a good night tonight. Because there's the one couple and apparently they both cheated on one another. Okay? And then there's another couple that's spreading their business. So they're mad at this couple. So then they've told a third party that this party is in a polyamorous relationship. But that she didn't know that the third party was friends with this party. So she went back and told the couple that this other couple is claiming, who they are in a polyamorous situation, are claiming that you're one. So now at the very end of last week's show, the woman who was not in a polyamorous situation, but was claimed to be, is hot. And she's like, well, I'm going to talk to this B. And that was the clip. That's where we're going to be tonight, 7 o'clock. Can't wait. Can't wait. Randy just won't watch it. I talked him into love after lockup, but he said, I tried it and it's just too ridiculous. And I'm like, that's the attraction. The absolute absurdity of this show that black millionaires in Atlanta are throwing glasses at one another in bars. And like I always said about this show, and like maybe, if I ran Ralph's Tavern, you have them on because you get publicity and you can say, the ladies of Love and Hip Hop were at my restaurant, but I wouldn't let those Negroes in my restaurant to save my life. And yes, I cleaned that up. And I did want to drop an N-bomb right there because sometimes curse words and even ugly words are necessary. And if you're throwing glasses in a restaurant, you are a Negro. And once again, I cleaned that up. Sorry. That's almost the definition of the N-word. Millionaires throwing glasses at one another in a restaurant. Oh, I forgot one other fact. The last time they did that, they were in London. They were in a London pub throwing glasses at one another. Negroes. There's an old, should I say my old phrase? The old black phrase. There's an old phrase. I shouldn't. Negroes and flies, I do despise, but the more I see Negroes, the more I like flies. Because, let me shut up. I don't know why in fact, let's take a break before I get ran out of town on a rail or get tarred and feathered by the black community. Just giving you some cultural information, that's all. Negroes and flies. Final break of the night. Keep it locked. Charlie Kirk at the top of the hour, who's coming to town, as I'm sure many of you have heard, along with Megyn Kelly. They're coming to town in November 30th, to be exact. November 20th, to be exact. Megyn Kelly going on the road. She's going to like 20 different cities, and somehow ours popped up on her radar. She'll be here with Charlie Kirk, who, again, keep it locked, pops up at the top of the hour. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. Our former federal agent, Howard Marcus, and the folks from
SSD Alarms, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'm leaning on you, Jackson. I don't know. They were on 17 this afternoon on the noon show. Is that right?
Yeah, SSD Alarm.
SSD Alarm. They'll join us as well. Final break of the night. Keep it locked. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Wednesday's Armstrong and Getty show will continue to look at the nation's report card that just came out that showed that our kids in school are falling further and further and further behind.
And was I too harsh in criticizing the dad who handed over the baseball to the screaming lunatic woman? Perhaps we'll share emails we have received. And the news of the day, whatever that turns out to be, on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The Cotton Patch Quilters of Kern County present an afternoon fundraising event under the Sea Auction, Saturday, October 11th, beginning at 11 a.m. at the Women's Club of Bakersfield. For over 40 years, the local guild has been supplying quilts, pillowcases, teddy bears, and dog beds to Kern County veterans, neonatal intensive care units, at-risk kids, shelters, and fire victims. There will be handmade donation quilts sold through live and silent auctions, a boutique of handmade items, raffle baskets, door prizes, and other surprise happenings. A professional auctioneer will lead the auction, and lunch will be catered by Mossman's. The Under the Sea auction is being custom crafted by members and will showcase over 40 heirloom quality quilts. Tickets for the event are $65 and available at the She Shed by the Peachy Pig, 1518 19th Street, or online at CPQ's website, cottonpatchquiltguild.org, prior to the event. No tickets will be sold at the door. Advanced to sales only.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up.
Ooh.
I've already made around $200-$300.
You're
Don't
putting
let me
gas in your
leave
car
here without
anyway.
getting a
Why
new
not
legal
get
pad,
real cash
please?
back? If you like free
Remind
money,
me.
download Upside.
I'm saving the
I
cash I earn
know
from
I
using
will.
Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
How much
Download
time I
the
got?
free Upside app now to earn cash back every time
Minute?
you buy
30?
gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or
You
wherever
out?
kids' shoes are sold.
Oh, it's
AirTag
beautiful
sold
outside.
separately.
Progressive
Yeah,
knows if
I
you have
walked
to
every
choose
break
between
today.
everyday life in your RV
Yep.
wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with
How
a
much time we
discount
got?
and spend more time enjoying those savings in
5
your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1.
Is ridiculous. It's like me saying all Republicans agree with taking medical coverage away from low-income people.
Well, you're not trying to make a point. You're just trying to make a dig on Republicans. But I think it's safe to say that the overwhelming majority of Democrats are suffering from Trump derangement disorder. What is it? Is that
Trump derangement syndrome?
I think it's safe to say that most liberals are soft on crime. And when you look at the 25 cities that have the largest murder rate, 24 of them are run by liberal mayors, DAs that slap violent criminals on the wrist. I think that's a safe bet. I really do. Now, the Republican Party used to be typical. It's no longer typical. Donald Trump is not a conservative. Donald Trump does whatever makes sense to Donald Trump. So there is no real, it used to be low taxes and hawkish foreign policy. That's all changed. The Republican Party's on its head. But the Democrats have lost their way completely. And it has become a party of protecting transgenderism to the point where Democrats want biological males to walk around female locker rooms and try to compete with females, biological females. We have the last Supreme Court justice who was sworn in, and yet during her inquisition, literally could not define what a man and a woman was. And now we're beginning to understand that no matter how smart Ketanji Brown Jackson is, and she has to be brilliant to even be considered for the United States Supreme Court, to be in that rare air just to be considered. But the reality is she was a DEI hire. Biden made a deal with James Clyburn of South Carolina. That's why the primaries now begin in South Carolina, because Joe Biden couldn't win in Iowa. And at the time, if you remember, although we quickly forget history, Bernie Sanders was kicking his ass. Literally kicking it, not literally, figuratively kicking his ass. And Biden needed South Carolina. And he went down to Columbia and he talked to Representative Clyburn. And he said, what can I do to have you hold my hand up in Columbia and say that I'm your guy? And he said, give me a black vice president and a black Supreme Court justice. And Joe said, deal. Or maybe somebody came and swept in and shook his hand for him, because Joe wasn't really making decisions then. It was all Otto Penn and everybody else. So I think it's pretty safe in the year 2025 to paint the Democratic Party with a very generalized brush. I really do. And that's just one of the reasons, one of the many reasons I left the Democratic Party. They're 80-20, 20% on issues like parental rights. That a teacher can know that your child is transitioning, but they intentionally keep it from the parent. That men can come before a judge with 13 prior arrests, and that judge says, you don't need any bail, just sign this promise that you'll come back to court. And the next thing you know, he's slashing somebody's throat. So I think it's pretty doggone safe to talk about a party that's about to elect a communist mayor of our most populous city in North America. So I think it's pretty safe. What else you got?
I apologize. I was reading one of my things here. I heard on KFI, Philly Karen has already been fired.
Oh, see, now that's not right.
I don't know if that's true though, because I've heard that over like many stories. I don't, like you said, I don't think anybody's really even identified the
No, I don't think they have either. And they reported that last weekend.
Yeah.
And as I told you yesterday, they had the wrong woman. That they had somebody in healthcare that they claim got fired, and this woman is not involved in healthcare.
I mean, there's been stories that she works at some schools, and the schools have come out and said, no, she doesn't work here.
The school district had to come out, Hammond School District, Hamilton, or something like that.
They claim she was a teacher there.
And they had to come out and say, no. She's never worked here. We have no idea who she is, but it's not her. I pray that she didn't get fired. I just don't think that your life should be upended because you acted like an ass at a ball game.
Now,
unless you violently got into some violence.
Yeah.
Unless you committed a crime, but it's not a crime to act like an ass. It just isn't. Now, if you get caught hugging your side chick, you should be whacked. Particularly if she's, head of human resources of your company. Yeah, that's a fireable offense. But for stealing a baseball from a 10-year-old, that's absurd. One more and I'm going home. It's life, love, and hip-hop Atlanta night.
Chris is right. You'll be in the top 5 groups.
What's he talking about?
You talk about your jury duty.
Oh, I'll be in the top 5? I hope so. Wouldn't mind a couple of days off and sitting down there and walking over to Eureka's for lunch. That's what I did the last time. I'd run over to Eureka's to have lunch. Might sneak in maybe a Bill Lee's one day. Like I said, I was the foreman. I enjoyed it. It took literally, we spent 3 days on picking the jury and 2 days to find the guy guilty. So I only did like a week. Lisa is our jury expert, but she was on a jury for like 4 or 5 weeks.
I think it was longer than that.
Yeah. I don't want to get caught up in all that, but in the meantime, I got to get out of here. For Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. I will rap to you tomorrow.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This.
You ready?
Ready whenever you are.
3, 2. I don't know what's worse. The fact that this Ukrainian refugee was murdered on August the 22nd and the media is now just catching on because of the surveillance video, or the fact that she sat there and bled to death and people literally turned her back on her. Literally turned their back as this woman bled to death on a Charlotte train. What is it again? SSD?
SSD alarm.
SSD alarm. 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Wednesday TRBS. Well, it's a Wednesday, so our former federal agent Howard Marcus will join us, and the folks from SSD Alarm will join us. They've got an event they want to tell you all about. All that and me at 3. It's TRBS right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'll see you at 3.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says Democrats must shift to the side of making cities safer.
I'm going to order my
common
dinner
sense,
right
and I
now.
cannot for the life of me understand
Roll
how
the
the Democrats
dice.
think this is some sort of winning political
I
message.
beat them.
Yield, man. Let the troops
crib.
come into your city and
crib.
show how crime can be reduced.
We're
It's a
doing
morale
chicken
boost for the
tonight.
country.
Israel launched a strike
From,
targeting Hamas's leadership in Qatar as
from,
they consider the U.S. proposal for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Tuesday's strike on the territory of the
Pollo
U.S. ally
Campero.
marked a stunning escalation and
Pollo
risked
Campero.
upending talks aimed at winding down the war and freeing hostages. On Wall Street, the Dow up by
Pollo
196 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Guess who's watching Rob Finnerty on Newsmax? President Trump is. He even says Finnerty's show is so terrific. Millions are joining President Trump to watch Finnerty every night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. All this week, Rob looks at the media's war on President Trump. Rob gives you the facts about the National Guard in cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. He tells you the real truth about the Jeffrey Epstein files, and he reveals the big media's agenda on Trump's health. You need to watch Rob Finnerty on Newsmax. Check out your local cable system. Newsmax is on all major systems. Or download the free Newsmax app. It costs you nothing, and you can watch in minutes. Finnerty is the fastest growing primetime news show in America. Find out why even President Trump is tuning in. More than 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for news they can trust.
because we are real news for real people.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. An assistant men's basketball coach is up on charges of human trafficking. CSUB assistant coach Kevin Mays has been a coach there for 6 years and is an alumnus of the university. Mays appeared in court on Monday. He faces a total of 6 felonies, which include pimping, pandering, as well as drug and gun charges. He's also under a no-contact order with a woman who prosecutors say was his victim, and he's ordered to stay away from a Southwest Bakersfield apartment complex. Last month, BPD received a tip that a woman was being trafficked through California, Oregon, and Washington state. Mays is being held on $500,000 bail. A man attempting a home invasion in East Bakersfield has been arrested. BPD says he tried to break into an apartment at the 500 block of Niles Street. They received reports at around 1:15 Monday morning. Officers say they caught him in the act as they arrived. 37-year-old Pierre Freeman faces multiple charges that include burglary, resisting arrest, and vandalism, and being under the influence of a controlled substance. A man is sentenced to 11 years behind bars in the case of the Superior Grocers homicide. It happened in the store parking lot on New Year's Day 2023 after Demetrius Ford Jr. threw a punch. The employee hit his head on the concrete. Juan Carlos Cervana died hours later. Prosecutors say Ford instigated the fight. The employee had been trying to act as a peacemaker at the time. A motorcycle rider suffered serious injuries after a crash northeast of Bakersfield. It happened a little after 5:30 Monday evening in the area of Garces Highway, just west of Blue Mountain Road. According to CHP, the motorcycle went down an embankment, falling at least 10 feet. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and